everybody. Welcome to the Canine Connection podcast. So, today, Laurie and I decided to talk about the opposite of what we talked about on our last two episodes, which was reducing reinforcement. And I think it kind of came up because I was up in Connecticut. We were doing a training thing. I don't even know how it came up. And we were somehow talking, and someone was there. I feel terrible. Do you know what's her name? You know who I'm talking about, Laurie? That was
Yeah.
talking about Raleigh.
Yep.
And what's her name?
Carol Perkins.
Okay. And we were talking about Raleigh and how I don't even know how this came up, but how they have a tendency, and I'm not throwing shade here, to practice courses all the time, right?
Yeah.
So that kind of got us thinking about, there are definitely instances where people don't reinforce enough. And then ironically enough, yesterday I'm training with my two training partners, and the one brings up, the podcast on reinforcement, and my other training partner goes, my students have the opposite problem. They don't reinforce enough. So it was funny that she said that, because you and I just that morning had decided that's what we were going to talk about. So
Right.
it's not just in Raleigh. I kind of mention Raleigh because there is a strong tendency in that sport. And I see that with students that I get from that sport, where they do several things. One is they just practice courses all the time, which means the dog doesn't get reinforced until the very end. And but that's also common with like obedience. Like as soon as people start putting chains together, they just reward they do the whole exercise every time, and they just reward the end. And I'm sure it's common in other sports as well, where once they start putting the pieces together, they just reinforce the end. So I think that can be problematic on three fronts. One is you're not really addressing engagement. And if there's a long chain, engagement's going to get weak, right? And engagement is everything. Two, reinforcement is super important because it's information, right? Like it's not just, oh, my dog will only work. No, it's information. It's telling you like you're correct or you're not. And if you're not, here's what you need to do to rectify the situation. So that would be like I kind of thought about this. I thought it was really pretty funny. So if either you or I are given a lesson and the students, and we're like, okay, show me what you can do. And they start doing something with the dog, and then they look at us for information, and we go, just keep going. And we say nothing, and they look at us, and we're like, just keep going. Like at some point, you're going to be like, what the hell? Like, can you give me some feedback here? Like, and then if you kept coming back, at some point you'd be like, oh my God, I hate these lessons. Why does whoever keep dragging me to these lessons? Like, I never get any information.
Right.
So it's a lack of information. And then the final piece is, there is a level of motivation. And not for nothing, people, none of you are working for free. So if you don't get paid, you're not going to be as motivated to do your job, right? Like there has to be a certain amount of motivation, especially when you're asking these animals to do things that are unanimal-like.
Yep.
And not at all reinforcing in any way, shape, or form. Like, why would your dog want to do it? Why?
Right.
Why? Because they love you? Sorry, ain't happening.
It's so true. And I always tell people that I feel like when I did rally, that was my first sport. So I find it really, really difficult because I find that the start sign actually more often than not is very, very near the entranceway when you come through the ring gates. Like you don't have a whole lot of time to get your dog together to all that stuff. So there's a little bit of, if you don't have engagement worked into your training and the process of, getting prepared for coming in the ring gate and getting your dog locked in and dialed in, like rally's hard in that sense. I find that because you have such a short window right there before you set up at that start sign. And
Plus,
then,
I feel like, sorry, I know I just cut you off, but I feel like it tends to be chaotic in around most ring entrances for most sports, but I feel like rally can sometimes be especially chaotic.
yeah,
I
I
I don't
agree.
know, maybe I'm wrong, but
I just
when
feel like
I
it moves like so quickly. Like you go in the ring gate, the start sign's right there. You have to either
yeah,
take
yeah,
the leash off or and like within seconds,
you're
you're being asked,
going.
"Are you ready?" And then you're gone. And it's rapid fire behaviors in that 1 to 3 minutes for however long you're in the ring for. That's a lot of, like, each sign itself has more than one behavior, like come front,
Mhm.
halt, round left, um that is incredible. Like, if you, not only are you doing a whole chain from the time you start to the end, but in that chain it is like, if you would sit and really break down each sign and count how many behaviors you're asking your dog to do, it's massive. It's
But
massive.
see, I think that's another issue, at least from what I've seen. So, like, for example, like I've seen people teach their dog, I'm just going to randomly pick a sign, 3 steps back, right? And the way they attempt to teach 3 steps back is by taking 3 steps back.
Mhm.
Or the sign is, stop, down, walk around. So they teach it by stop, down, walk around. Like
Mhm.
I was teaching these, though I just mentioned these two because I was teaching those to Zaina the other day. And I do like 1/8 of a step back, yes, feed,
Right.
like until she gets that piece. Then I go like, 1/4 of a step back, yes, feed, 1/2 a step back. And I might not even get to 1 or 2 for like multiple training sessions. Then with the down walk around, you're like, well, she's trained, right? Well, yeah, but dogs don't generalize well. So I stop and I tell her down, and she looks at me like, we don't heel, stop, and down. Like that's not a thing. So I heel, stop, down, yes, feed. Heel, stop, down, yes, feed. Heel, stop, down, yes, feed. Separately, I do down, walk around, yes, feed. Like break it into small pieces, and that's what I did with Zeal too. And that's again, like I don't feel like people are doing that and maintaining that, right? Like maybe that's how you taught it. But are you maintaining that? Like in obedience, we'll do a drop on recall, drop the dog and reward the drop like forever. Like
Right.
the
Right.
dog can be an och gazillion and you're still periodically doing that. Not everyone, people should be, they don't, right? So
Right.
it's the same with rally. Like at you need to be rewarding not just the individual signs, but the pieces of the signs to
Exactly.
keep it interesting and fun and like motivational and like interesting for the dog.
Right. Right. And, I think a lot of, I mean, I can't say for sure, but I had taken a few rally classes back when I was first starting out in rally, and there was no, there was really, for the most part, no breaking signs down and working on individual signs. It was set the course up, and you just go from start to finish, and you were timed, and you just got through it. Like, that's kind of how I felt the mentality was, like, you just need to get through it.
Yeah, and
Um,
it is. I mean, I have a student now, and so she was like, "Oh, my dog was doing great, and now my dog's gotten to where it doesn't even want to go in the ring, right?"
mhm.
And she says, like, people have told me in my class outside the ring, as soon as I say we're going in the ring, the dog's like, "Ugh," right? And I said, well, do you, have you worked on ring entrances? Say what? you know, I'm like, well, just so it also takes some, like, I want to say, I guess, courage, right? Because if that's what everyone's doing, now you're going to go against the grain, right?
Yep.
Because I said to her, I don't want you to do a course. No courses for now. You're just going to go to class and you're going to use your time, however many minutes that is, and you're just going to work on your ring entrances. And I don't even care if you don't get into the ring. You need to change your dog's state of mind outside the ring first. Then you need to change your dog's state of mind crossing through the ring gates. Then you need to do it moving from the ring gate to your setup start point, right? And if you don't have any of that, there's no way you should even be thinking about starting a course.
Right.
And then once you get that, which could take weeks to months depending on what, the scenario, right? Like what
Right.
you've kind of inadvertently built into the dog. And even then you have to maintain that forever. Like when we train, if I'm training in my backyard and I don't have anything set up, I'm still doing like 3 or 4 ring entrances every single training session.
Yeah, same.
Always.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's so hard for the dog.
Yeah.
And how am I going to maintain that, right? So, and then the taking the leash off, we train that piece, we reward it heavily, we make it a fun trick, like we make it a game, right? And then from there, moving to the start point and then setting the dog up, because now the dog's sitting there and it's like, oh my God, the judge is there, the people are looking at me, the noise is going on. Never mind randomly rewarding signs.
Right. Right. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to like say the broad spectrum is this is what happens in all rally classes, because I know, like, even talking, talking to Danette, talking to Carol Perkins, I know those guys work on individual signs, breaking down behaviors. But I think there is a large amount of classes that it's just set up courses and go through them, right? And I think you're right. Like, you have to still, like, everything we're doing in rally, it's the same as obedience in the sense that it's all obedience behaviors, sit, front, left, finish, all that stuff. And like you said, like, we break all that down. We go and reinforce all those pieces, all the middle pieces. So even if you're working on a sign, it's so important to break that down and still work on motivating and reinforcing those pieces, and not just going from start A to the end. Cause that's, I think,
well, and they need to reinforce good things, right? This is a problem. It's a big problem in obedience. It's a big problem in a lot of sports. Like where the dog's working nicely and they just keep going and keep going and keep going until the dog makes a mistake. And then they say to the dog, you're wrong. You made a mistake, right? And then whether they handle the error well or not, regardless, then, okay, now they go again. Dog does it right. They keep going and they keep going until the dog makes another mistake. And then they're like, you're wrong. And I'm like, oh my God. Like,
the dog's like, get me out of here.
Yeah. Like, think about rewarding the pieces that are good, because that's going to motivate the dog and give the dog confidence. Because again, like, I see the dogs, like, they're doing and I see it in obedience too, like, the dog looks so confused and unsure. It just looks like unsure.
Right.
And if you say to the dog, that's it, good job, the dog goes, oh, thank God, I'm doing it right.
Right.
And if you do that routinely, your dog's going to go, "Oh, I'm good at this. I know what to do." Like, not getting information is a weird feeling. Like, I just did this thing in nose work, right? Like, we really have to put ourselves in the dog's shoes. So, there's a big area, and my instructor says, okay, I'm not telling you how many hides are in here, and you have to go through the whole building, find, as many as you can, and then tell me when you're done, like when you feel like you've cleared the whole room, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I do it with Zesty, and then I look at her like, I kind of said, "I'm done. Like, I think I'm done. Like, I think I did it." Cause I'm new. I don't know what the hell
Yeah.
I'm doing. Right. And she looks at me and she goes, "Well, I'm not going to tell you because I want you to run it with Zaina." Now, what's the first thing I think? Oh God, I must have fucked it up. That must be why she's not telling me,
Right.
because she wants me to go with Zaina and see if I figure it out and fix what I did wrong and blah. So, and then of course I had to like stop myself and go, no, she's just doing it so that, you can do it with Zaina and not be skewed or whatever. But
Yeah.
the dog's not gonna, the dog's gonna have that same feeling like, I did it. Was it
Right.
right? Was
Right.
it
Right.
wrong?
Right.
Was it good? Was it
Yeah.
bad?
Well, that
Oh,
self-doubt creeps in, just like it does with
yes.
us.
I
Yeah.
must have screwed something up because she's not telling me anything. She doesn't look happy. She's
Yeah.
telling me, come on, come on, come on, sit, 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 down, down, down. I must be wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. That definitely plays into it, for sure, without a doubt.
And
Yeah.
I think that's what people need to think about, because so many of the behaviors, I get this constantly. My dog panicked in the ring. I look at the video. Nope, your dog's not panicked. Your dog's confused as shit.
Yeah.
My dog's stressed out in the ring. Nope, your dog's confused as shit. My dog's, not giving me effort. No, your dog is confused.
Oh, poor dog.
Like 9 out of 10 times, your dog's confused, or your dog's doing displacement behaviors because it's confused, or
Really?
it's distracted because you haven't taught it engagement, right? Or maybe you
Right.
taught it engagement, but you're halfway through the course and the dog loses engagement and you just keep going.
Right.
Well, if you do that enough times, your dog's going to go, "Oh, I guess it's okay to look away because no one ever said I shouldn't.
Right.
So I may as
And
well look
that's,
around."
yeah, and that's yeah, that, and I think too that, there's a lot to it, but a big one too is making sure that the dogs actually know the behaviors,
Mm,
that they're actually taught thoroughly those
that's
behaviors.
helpful.
Well, I think that's a big thing. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I think I think that rally can be misinterpreted as an easy sport for the dogs to do, like kind of anybody can do it. We can all go in and get through the course. But again, it goes back to, is it fair to just go in and wing it when your dog really doesn't know some of the behaviors really well? Because I see that too sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
you can see it's just the confusion from the dog because the dog doesn't really know how to do that. And that's where, there's the begging and the pleading and all that going on in the rally ring to just get through the course. And I always it's hard to watch that sometimes, all the time.
Well, it's hard to watch because the dog's not comfortable, right?
And
Like,
it's like it's at the expense of your dog. Like, that's how I feel. Like, your dog is put in a really hard spot, because they're being asked to do 2-3 minutes of work. And like I said, like in obedience, like we have 8 to 10 minutes, whatever. Like we have in between exercises. Like I love that we have that. We have in between those transition periods where we can give feedback and we can, do whatever until the next exercise. And like I said, like I find rally to be really hard in just that sense. It's rapid fire, rapid fire, rapid
Mm-hmm.
fire, rapid fire. Like the dogs need to be, I mean, that level of engagement definitely needs to be there for that entire time.
Well, and
So
I find so my rally students, they'll take like certain courses and they're like, well, I can't pre-cue or I can't do the transition, right? Because like we do in obedience because they don't have that option. So I'm like totally fair. However, like if you what you do have is those signs, you can make them so fun that they're self-reinforcing. Like when I did it with Zeal, like each sign I did, he was like, "Oh my god, this is so fun." Because I took the individual sign and made it a fun trick, right? Like I would just break it down into little pieces, reward the pieces, and then like reward it heavily, and then do it, and then play a game afterwards. And he just thought like the behaviors were so fun. And then after each one, I can say, "Good job, buddy. Wow." And so basically, each sign, in essence, for him was almost like he was getting reinforced
right.
in his mind, right? And that goes back to taking those signs and like you said, teaching it so well. Because if the dog knows something really, really well,
Right.
they're confident.
Yeah.
And then when you say, "Do this," they're going to go, "Oh, I can do that because I know this inside out, backwards, forwards, upside down." And then I'm going to go, "Good job." And the dog's going to go, "I knew it because I
Mhm.
know this really well." So make sure the dog knows it extremely well in isolation.
Mhm.
Then reinforce it like forever, not every single time, but I'm saying teach it with heavy reinforcement, then fade the reinforcement. But then, just like the other day, I just did some healing, right? So I did forward right turn feed, forward left turn feed, forward about turn feed with my seasoned, experienced competition dogs. You might say, "Well, why would you do that?" Because I want to reinforce the pieces. That keeps
Mhm.
them sharp. It keeps my dog, it keeps them enjoyable, keeps
Mhm.
it fun. And I'm saying to my dog, "Yep, that's right. That's right." Over and over. And my dog's like, "Yeah, I know how to do this."
Mhm.
So that's what you need to do with those rally
Pieces.
behaviors, right? Like just, and you can just do it in your living room, like in
Yeah.
your house.
Yeah, definitely. All of those little things for
And
sure.
yeah, so and we're gonna have to have probably multiple episodes just on engagement alone, right? Because I think that's another thing that like you go to a class and you do like I know that every year these poor dogs, like, because I mean we think obedience nationals are hard. I mean we specifically train for months and months just for the NOC because the challenges are different because there's so many rings going on at the same time, and it's so distracting, not just because of the multiple rings, because of the people, the announcers, the whole thing.
Yeah.
That is like a joke compared to 600 or 400 rally people with like 80,000 rings.
Yeah. Oh god.
Holy shit. Like,
Yes, it is. Yes. Like when we go to the NOC, like when I last year when I got there, we popped in early and I was like, "Holy Hannah, it I could not believe the amounts of people in that building. It
Yeah.
was
So if you think about the audio level, right?
holy.
The energy level, because there's stress. The dogs are stressed, the people are stressed. The smells, right? The motion that's going on. Like if you're in a middle ring, there is massive amounts of motion on all four sides. There's noise everywhere. There's chaos outside the ring. I can't imagine trying to get to, never mind, into your ring.
Mhm.
Like, and
Mhm.
it's very common that people just do their normal rally routine and then they go to rally nationals and then they're like, oh, yeah, my dog had a meltdown. I don't know why. I'm like, you don't know why? Holy crap. Like, look around. And I don't mean that in a mean way. I mean, like, they don't even understand because people aren't addressing it or talking
Right.
about, like,
Right.
we need to work on engagement. We like if I was taking my dog to rally nationals, I would be training all over the plate, like in the
Yeah.
middle of stores, like in the middle of
Yeah.
chaos, like in a
Yeah.
park where there's soccer games going on. And I would be trying to get people together and, you know, do my do a partial run while there's chaos going on around the ring and people are yelling things and dogs are barking, and
Right.
because otherwise, yes, your poor dog is going to have a nervous breakdown.
Yeah. Yeah, because the level of difficulty is through the roof for sure.
Through the roof. And imagine, I'm sure there are many people that have gone that the human, struggled, right, with focus and made mistakes.
Oh yeah.
So imagine then how the dog must feel in that situation, right?
Yeah.
Um, so even if you don't do rally nationals, even if you're just, locally showing in rally, still it's hard, right?
Yeah.
Distractions are going on, the judges in the ring, things like dark corners, like, you know, when you have a rally ring, they're squeezing stuff into like every square inch of that ring.
They are.
Like,
They are.
you know.
Yes.
So, and some dogs like go into a corner and they're like, ugh, I don't like this corner.
Yeah.
Right. Um, so like that's something that should be worked on and like recognized, first of all, and everything's kind of close. So pressure is an issue as well, right? Like feeling pressure from the
Yeah.
signs, from the corner, from the judge following around. And I don't really see much talk, and I'm not saying no one's out there doing it. I'm saying
Right.
in general about the effect of pressure in a ring and like how that impacts a dog and how to help a dog and teach a dog to
Work.
handle the pressure and be comfortable with that.
Yeah. I'm not sure that is addressed enough in rally. Like when I took a few private lessons with Danette Chorney, and I mean she's amazing. She's an AKC rally judge, and she really definitely like teaches her students all the, about engagement and about big things she really teaches is like mapping out your strategies from sign to sign. Like I was blown away by that. Like, cause so then right there, I'm like, all right, it's not even about like I have to freaking remember the signs, memorize the signs. Now it's like when you walk that course, it's like I have to remember like from this sign to that sign, like what I need to do for my dog to help my dog get to that sign, to be able to execute that sign well. Like it was like I was like, holy shit, like this is crazy. This is intense. And she's like, yeah, yep. And she was purposely setting up courses for me like that were hard. Like she's like, these are some of the things that they'll do at nationals. Like they're going to stick this sign in this corner because they're going to see if that, people can get their dogs navigated through efficiently there without, having an issue. And dogs, they set them up purposely to see if it's going to like kind of screw the dog up a little bit. Like I was blown away by that. So she definitely does a lot of that stuff, but I don't think it's addressed enough, like you said.
Well, and um that is huge, right? Like taking responsibility for your part in this,
Yeah.
because your part in rally is enormous. Like you need to memorize the sign. You should not walk to the sign, look at it with two eyeballs, analyze it, and then think about what you're doing to execute the sign. Because if you're doing that, guess what? You're leaving your dog completely hanging. That is not a team. You're not being a teammate, right?
Yeah.
You need to, and I'm not saying it's easy because it is hard. Because I
Yeah.
remember thinking, oh, yeah, this rally stuff's so easy. And then I started looking at all the signs and I was like, oh, shit. This is not easy. And I went out. This is so funny. First of all, I oh my God. I go in one of the rings. I'm literally like a novice, right? And I walk in and they're like, you don't have the right leash, or I didn't have a leash or something. So that was like a big
You had your
debacle. Like,
slip leash on. You had your slip
yeah,
leash
I
on.
had something completely I fucked up.
They're like,
Then, and I had to leave the ring, and then it was a whole big thing. Then I do this course, and then I finish, and the judge looks at me and goes, well, it was all good except for that sign over there. I don't know whatever you did a lot of moving and spinning, and I don't know. And I left the ring and I'm like, I did that sign perfectly. I know it. I've been practicing that move, that double about turn thing. And I'm like, and I look at the videotape, I go, I did it perfect. Well, that wasn't the sign. It was just a plain old fucking right turn or about turn, and I did some fancy schmancy thing. And I'm like, oh.
yeah, that's expensive.
So the point is, like, it's my job to memorize the signs
Yeah.
first and foremost, and because they're very, sometimes you have to stop, sometimes you do it in motion, and
Yeah.
it's my job to memorize the course so that I only need to glance at the sign, like to either as partially maybe to orient myself and partially as a quick little reminder.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
shouldn't have to stare at the sign. I should just maybe glance really quickly or see it out of the corner of my eye so I can maintain my connection to the dog.
Well,
And
the
I
other
think,
thing too is I found when I did rally and then when I took some of those lessons with Danette, like you get to a sign and like you better know that sign so well because you should already be thinking about your next sign. Like that's how I felt. Like I needed to be so proactive and 2 steps ahead, right?
mhm.
Because I didn't and there were a couple of times where I would all of a sudden I'd get stuck on something and then I'd be at the next sign. I'd be like, oh shit, what are we doing at this sign?
Yeah.
It was so hard.
Mhm.
Mentally, it was so hard. That's why I feel like it's that rapid fire, moving. Some of the signs are only 2 feet apart. Like you better fucking know your shit and be ready for the next sign. I was like, oh
Well, and
God,
I think
screwing my
people
dog
need to
up.
take responsibility for that,
Yeah,
right? And
for
they should be
sure.
taught that
For
that's
sure.
their job, right? Like they shouldn't be taught. Like if I was teaching a rally class and you walked around staring at the sign, I'd be like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah.
Get your dog, put them in the crate. Here's a pile of flashcards. Memorize these signs or memorize this course. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't
Yes.
want you staring at the sign. Like, that's your responsibility. Like, I literally think to myself, I'm like, oh, like in a few years, I'm going to 300, if not sooner, do rally. I'm like, that'll be such a good way, like when I get older, to keep my brain sharp
Mental, yeah,
because it
Totally.
is such a mental
It is.
challenge.
That's
And
what I felt.
that's,
I'm exhausted by it. I'm like, holy crap.
yeah, and we should embrace that, right? We should embrace that as it is a mental challenge. It's a puzzle. Challenge yourself. Think about it like every time you do that, you're building new neurons, like you're staving off Alzheimer's and dementia. Like this is good for you. Have a positive outlook about it. And because that's only fair for your dog. Like we get so annoyed, like you down and your dog isn't down. Ugh, he didn't down. Well, ugh, you messed up the sign, honey. So like, how about that? How about you
Right.
take how about we mess up a sign and it's like, oh, whoopsie, we messed up the sign. Our
Right.
dog messes up the sign, it's like, oh, the dog messed up the sign. Ugh. Well, sorry,
Yeah.
you should be holding yourself equally accountable. That's why my dog messed up the sign. I'm not going to even get on their case. I am going to go, it's a training issue. I need to go fix it. But more than likely, they messed up the sign because I messed up the sign.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. It's hard. Rally's hard. I think
It's
it's
really
really
hard. I think it's super fun though. Like I'm really looking forward I love doing it with Zeal. Like I wasn't even, I was like, ugh, I loved it. I didn't think I was going to like it.
yeah.
Um, I'm gonna so I'm training. I'm starting to teach Sana some of the signs. After the NOC, I'm really gonna buckle down. Um, and I'm gonna give it a go with her. Like I hope she likes it because I like it.
Yeah.
um, and I kind of do like I did like the like rapid fire and that it changes constantly. I like the variety. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Yeah, for
I
sure.
like that it's different. I like that there's so many different moves for lack of a better word, right?
Right.
And I think the dogs like that if it's trained properly and if we're giving them information. And like I said, like I know people get nervous in the ring and et cetera. But like Zeal loved that I would be like, good job, buddy. And he's like, real? Like, oh. And then 2 seconds later, you're at the next sign.
Yeah.
Good boy. Nice job. Right. Like I wasn't incessantly talking, but
Right.
I was praising him.
Yeah,
And
which you
he
do.
loved that.
Yeah. And I think talking to Carol and Danette, they were like, people don't praise enough. They both said that. They were like, they go through the whole thing and they're like, tell your dog, like, give them some feedback, like, let them know because you can do that.
Yeah, like you can do that in the ring, so you should be doing it in training. And then in training, even if your dog's super advanced, you should periodically be breaking out the signs,
Yeah.
feeding them individually a fair amount, keeping them fun. And then if you're doing courses, you should randomly throughout the course mark and reinforce your dog. And you should do it with food not on you. Like
Right.
put the food right outside the ring or on the steward's table, right? Yes. Run and give them a piece of food, go back to the sign you left, continue on from that sign, right? And always randomize where you feed, not always like after you finish a sign, sometimes in the middle of healing from one sign to the next.
Right.
Sometimes in the middle of doing a sign, right? Like don't finish the whole thing, just in the middle of it go get it. So your dog never knows when it's going to get reinforced, which is going to be really fun and exciting for them because they're going to be
Right.
like, maybe now, maybe
Yeah.
now, maybe now. And then you're like, now. And they're going to be like, wow. Right. Because at the end is so predictable. It's like, why? If you're looking from purely a motivational standpoint, why am I going to put effort in until the end?
Right. Exactly.
Nothing ever, I never get rewarded
Right.
for that. Like,
Right.
why am I going to try hard? Like, what's the point? It just, there's no reason for it.
Right. It's true.
Yeah. So, engagement, which is important for
Hmm.
all sports, including rally. Um, Ring entrances, keeping everything fun.
Yeah.
rewarding enough, right? Don't always do chains, like reward pieces.
Yep. Making sure, because I think touching upon like distractions and stuff, I think that um I don't know if people who exclusively do rally really get their dogs out in more distracting environments because they just go to class and do the rally courses, but that's like you can still go do sign behaviors out in stores and stuff. Like you have to definitely put the distractions in for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think you don't have to rely on the signs for engagement. Just like when I start doing obedience, and sometimes even to this day, when I do obedience, when I go to a store or something, I'm not always doing like a full healing pattern and a
Right.
full retrieve and a full this. Sometimes I'm just doing pieces, like I'm doing, like for command discrimination, I'm telling my dog to down, walk away, turn. Yes, good job, buddy. That was really good. Right?
Right.
Or drop on recall, leave my dog, turn and face my dog. My dog looks happy. Yes, good job, buddy. That's it. Things like that. Like you don't have to do the full exercise or the full sequence, right? So you could literally just go and heel and do right turn, left turn, or do front finish, or do the sign without the sign being there. You should know how to, you should know most of the signs at a certain point. And but work on engagement. The focus should be that the dog learns how to stay focused around distractions. Because big thing with engagement, I always tell people now, if you're doing a hard task that requires, I feel like I said this recently, but who knows, that requires a lot of concentration and you're doing it in your house, that's one thing. But if you have to do it at Starbucks and it's
Mhm.
a busy day at Starbucks, it's hard
Yeah.
because you have to tune all that stuff out while
Yeah.
concentrating. And that's what we're asking our dogs to do. And that's a skill.
Hmm.
Like, that is really hard, and it's like a muscle. Like at first, when I take a dog, start taking them to new environments, maybe if I only get a couple, like a tiny little bit of engagement, like they can do two or three behaviors and I can see that's hard for them, then I'm like, I'm out. And then
Yeah.
I have to build on that little
Right.
by incrementally until my dog can do a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes continuously, because that is very hard.
Very hard, and it is. It's a taught skill. I'm not sure everybody understands that and the importance of it. That it has to be taught and it has to be done incrementally for the dog to learn that skill for sure.
Yeah, and I think that yeah, that's just not worked on enough. And it's really not worked on if you're doing a run through in class, like a course, like how are you working on engagement, right? Like, to me, engagement trumps everything.
Yeah.
um Whether it's obedience rally, any sport really. I have a student in my one class doing waterworks. I didn't even know was a thing,
Yeah.
never mind what it entails, or so it's all new to me. But in essence, we worked on it. Was so fun, but it's a completely different sport. And you're like, nothing like obedience or rally, but what is it? It's a bunch of behaviors, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the day. And it's
Yeah.
a bunch of behaviors that are strung together. So
Right.
that's what we had to work on. And the dog has to be engaged, because if the dog's not engaged, it's not paying attention. It's
Right.
not paying attention. How can it follow your instructions? Right?
Right.
How can it's not even going to be looking at the buoy out there that it has to go retrieve. it's
Right.
it's out at a lake. My dogs would
Right.
be like,
That's so funny because I have a student with this, we're doing the same thing. And she's like, yeah. And it was so funny because she's like, I never, like, she's like, this is a thing, this engagement. I'm like, yes, in everything we do with the dog. She's like, holy crap. She goes, because these dogs, like some of them, they just want to go get, they want to go to the other boat. They want to go to the other boat. And people are like, I don't even care about the engagement piece. I'm just going to let my dog go do the thing. And she's like, it's a freaking shit show. She goes, this is a thing. We need to get engagement. She was like so shocked about it. And now she's like working so hard on it. It's so cute. I love it.
I know. Yeah, it's so fun. This person I'm working with, she's great. She has really good instincts. But it's all
Yep.
new. Like, and she's
Yeah.
been doing this a long time. She's a
Yeah.
judge in this sport, but
Yeah.
it's not something they ever talked about, like transitions,
Yeah.
pre-cues, like, breaking the behavior down. She's like, why did you do that? I go, he's not confident. He's not, it's all the same issues, right? Like, he's not confident. Just tell him he's right a bunch of times. Oh, and look, now the dog's like, oh, I know what to do. Run out and grab the thing. Yeah, he just needed to be told he was right. He was just like, oh, I'm not sure. So it's like dog training is dog training is dog training, right? Like she has all the same pieces
Yeah.
for that sport need to be in place to get the kind of work she wants, right?
Right.
And not just the kind of work she wants, the dog she wants. Because really, what is it? Is she's like, well, my dog doesn't. Why is my dog doing that? You know, I don't want my dog to look like that. I don't want my right. Why does my dog look like that? Because your dog's confused. Oh
Right.
well, no one wants their dog to be confused, or you don't want your dog to be worried or uncomfortable. Nobody wants that,
Right.
right? So, okay, well, that's why these things matter,
Right.
right? Because when your dog is barely making it through the course, yes, you got the ribbon, maybe you even got a placement, but are you happy with your dog's experience in the ring?
Right.
And
Yeah.
I think a lot of people aren't. They just don't know how to fix it, or what piece is missing, or
Or
what's
why
wrong, or
it's
what to
happening.
do, or
Yeah.
yeah.
Why all that happened. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, so reinforce
Yeah. The pieces.
more,
Motivate them, teach all the pieces, be a good teammate, learn your
learn
sign.
the signs, take responsibility,
Yeah.
and engagement. And that's
Yes.
going to have to be another topic we have
Yeah,
to tackle.
for sure. All
All right. Thanks,
right, good.
everybody.
Thank
Happy
you.
training. Bye.
Bye.